Hey, everybody. This podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Courtney Diamond. We're talking any book of your choice, you guys, and they have over 180,000 titles to choose from. I'm currently listening to Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'd highly suggest it if you're into the cosmos. I like to listen to it in the dark, maybe as I'm falling asleep, not because it makes me sleepy, but because I enjoy letting Neil deGrasse Tyson's voice soothe me into dreamland while I think about, stars and such. But hey, if that's not your thing, go ahead and grab yourself any other audiobook for free and that 30-day free trial by going to audibletrial.com/Courtney Diamond. It's a wonderful way to support the podcast, so please use it and share it. But aside from that, long time no talk. It's been a bit of a crazy time for me lately. I suffered some loss, and then so that threw my head out of the game a little bit, and then my MacBook Pro crashed. So that's a bit of a holdup. So there's just been several kind of things that have come one right after another. And I know that you guys can empathize with that because we all feel that way at some time or another, whether it's little nonsensical things that we're really blowing up or really important things that take some time to recover from. And I considered making myself continue to push these out weekly, but I realized that that's just the most ineffective thing I could have done with the headspace that I was in. It's like productivity is great, but there are times when quiet and thought and healing need to be at the forefront. I just wasn't really myself, and I didn't want to fake it just to pump out a podcast or a post. That's just not where it's at, in my opinion, because it all starts to feel less real at that point. But now that some time has passed, I'm feeling very grateful to be in a fresher mindset, and I think we can finally get back on track. And even more importantly, I'm excited to do so. I have several new blogs up on the site at CourtneyDiamond.com, and the podcast you're about to listen to was a real casual one that I recorded with my best friend Michelle on Halloween. We talk about the holiday, do a live Bumble swiping sesh, and answer a few questions from internet men. So with that, I hope you enjoy this conversation I had with my friend, Michelle Harman. So it's nice to do this again.
I know, it's been a hot minute.
It's been life, dude. MacBook Pro crashed.
Mm-hmm. You saved it from a dream you had.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't know I was a psychic, okay? So one night, I had a dream, a very intense dream. And it was one of those dreams where you feel like it's normal life. It's a normal day. Everything looks the same. I thought I was awake. And I looked down, and all of a sudden, I'm watching my MacBook Pro crumble in on itself. The screen shattered, and it was like I tried to grab it for some reason, and it was just like crinkling in my fingertips. It was like it was made of aluminum foil all of a sudden. And it was destroyed. And then I was thinking in the dream, I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, I haven't backed it up in forever. And I was freaking out. And I was like, I just lost everything. Like all my podcasts, all of that stuff is on there. So many pictures probably. And then I woke up in a legit anxietous panic. Like a real life panic to where I think it took me a good several minutes to realize that it was not the case. I immediately woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, opened up my laptop and tested it out to make sure that it worked.
Wow.
That's how panicked I was.
Whoa.
And then in the morning, when I was more functional, I did a full backup on my laptop. And then lo and behold, like a week or less later, 5 days later, my MacBook actually crashed. That's why you listen to your dreams, people.
Exactly. And it's also what you taught me is called synchronicity.
That's my keyword. That's my full-on keyword now. I believe in that stuff where you go through your day. If you pay attention, there's weird little things where you can connect them. You're like, okay, that event led to this event, and this makes sense. Or like, am I getting a hint here?
Right.
Or I'm on the right path.
It happens to us all the time.
It does.
And we just have to each other and we know.
You know. You lock eyes and you know. You just got to pay attention during the day. I feel like everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Everybody can do that. It's just
World
most people
always
ain't.
sending us signs.
It is. You do it with your dreams too. Have you ever done lucid dreaming?
I've tried. I don't know if I've ever been super successful with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think I've been limitedly successful, but it's fun to try where you go to sleep and you repeat to yourself as you're going to bed that you're going to remember your dreams and that you're going to be aware that you're dreaming. You just tell your mind that in hopes that it listens to you.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. And then all of a sudden you can realize that you are conscious of your dream when you're in it, and then it allows you to have control of it.
Right.
I think I've only managed that like maybe once or twice. It's hard. But
Yeah.
everybody's like, what? I got control of my dreams and I decided to fly.
Yeah, that would be great.
Everybody wants to fly. That's
Like,
what I've told you.
I win the lottery and I'll wake up and I'm like, damn, I'm still poor.
Right?
But, you know, that's always a good one.
Can you imagine if you dreamt something and then you came back, like you could bring something back with you? That would prove that dreams were another dimension.
They might be because deja vu.
Right? All them theories. That'd be very interesting if it was. Because, like, what do we know? That's my mindset.
A very
like, what do we know?
minuscule amount.
We don't know anything. So
Very
I'm not
little.
closed-minded. Who knows? It could be another dimension. So it's Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. We are not outside.
Yeah, we are very much cozy. Watching Courtney in her luxurious, what is that, a Victoria's Secret robe?
Victoria's Secret robe,
with
thank
the little
you.
lammy
Yes.
hood.
Yes.
And we got a pumpkin spice candle going.
Thanks to Michelle. This lady brought me an amazing salmon asparagus yam dinner. I mean, who does that? Amazing people. But it's funny you say that there's all these trick-or-treaters out there on the street, because I haven't gone out there during the evening. But I always think, like, how often do kids actually trick-or-treat these days? Because it feels like the streets don't feel as safe as they did when we were kids.
I see everybody out there, all the little kids have their parent chaperones. But when I was younger, we didn't really have our parents. We like did our own thing and we didn't really worry about that as much. I think it was more worried about the lead candy thing or razors in the candy. So you just had to inspect it.
And that came later, too.
We definitely went out and did our own thing.
Yeah, we got dropped off, and it was like near our elementary school. And then I just remember they would just be like, well, when it gets, dark, like a little bit after dark, we'll meet you here and we'll pick you up. Because there was no cell phones.
No.
You just had to wear a watch and know to be in a certain place at a certain time.
Or knew someone that had a pager.
Whoa, I know, because they were advanced. So we were next level at that point. But yeah, like you didn't worry about being on the streets. And I feel like there's a lot of that now. And I feel like there's less actual trick-or-treaters in the street, and they take advantage of theme parks and stuff, doing trick-or-treat events or things like that. That are hosted by
events during the day.
Yeah, big companies and stuff, so that it's like you're guaranteed to know that everything is safe. But it sucks that they have to worry about that.
It's sad. Our world is very scary these days for little children. There's so many different ways that they're vulnerable in this world, and it's awful.
It is.
But anyways, Halloween should be a happy time. And I when I was driving down the street and I saw all those kids, I was like, oh my God. Like I got all emotional because I was like, oh my God, being a kid was so simple and fun. And I had like the most wonderful childhood memories. Like my dad and I would always like carve pumpkins together, and he was a master at it. He actually did contests where he scuba dived and carved them underwater.
That is a thing?
It's very advanced. Yes, he won the contest every year at La Jolla Shores.
I don't know, the thing.
And then, obviously, I was pretty much a kitty cat costume the majority of my Halloween years.
Did it get more scandalous as you got older?
Yeah, for the most part, I would say. But then I kind of switched it up. I got more creative as I got older.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what my favorites were. God, I don't know. I haven't dressed up in so many years now. I did the French maid on the Halloween that I thought I was going to die from a hangover. I had a birthday party. My 28th birthday was very too much, I think is a good description for it. And then I think that it must have been on the 30th, I guess, because we went out the next day for Halloween. And I just we went out at nighttime, and I had to get dragged out of my apartment. They're like, you bought a costume.
Yeah.
You got to wear it.
And that night was so
still
lame
dying.
anyways. We're at some grungy bar we didn't even want to be in.
I didn't even drink.
Can we just take pictures and go?
Yeah, I got the costume on, and I was like, because I bought it, I got to get out there. But my hangover was still real in the evening.
I kind of always have more fun at Halloween parties at a house. Like, if you ever try to go out in PB during Halloween, it is complete chaos, and it's just a little bit much unless you're already tanked and you just don't care.
Well, that's the problem. You ever
can't
try
talk or
try
it's
going
too
to a
loud.
bar when you're sober? Yeah. You look around and you're like, oh gosh, why is everything's wet? It's so dirty. Look at these sloppy people. Your mind is in like full judgment mode, and it just doesn't seem fun at all. The jokes aren't funny to you anymore. The stories are too long, and
10 minutes plus in line for drinks or more.
Yeah, you're too aware.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to be drunk in those environments to really enjoy yourself. And I feel like I'm at this point now where every now and again I get this need to go out. And then every time I go, I get there and I'm like, this is not what I wanted it to be. It's not the vision that my mind created for it.
I just value more quality time with friends, and telling stories and just hanging out.
I like the idea of being out and people watching without being directly in the midst of it now.
Me too.
Which is not good. But I haven't been out in 3 years, so what are you going to do? If you could be anything for Halloween, what would you be? Because I know mine. You know I know mine.
I don't know what you're going to pick, actually.
You'll know it when I say it. You'll know it when I say it.
I think it would be really fun to have a super legit like Xena warrior princess costume.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun? Or like something kind of like Wonder Woman wore in the beginning scenes of wherever she lived.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but sure.
But it's just that, the Amazonian armor type of thing. Everything's leather and metal.
And real elaborate, like well done, like movie status.
That would be
costume. Awesome. I agree. I wish I could be like 5'10" for Halloween, but that's not a thing.
No.
You can't just add height. I get a little bit taller, but I max out at like 5'7".
Right.
And that's a 5-inch heel, so we're already on some stilts,
And that's not a good idea for Halloween.
Guess what I would be?
What would you be?
Tron.
Oh, Tron.
Full legit Tron outfit.
Yes, it's a great one.
Perfectly fitted, okay, with the little heels built into it. Like, what's her name? Olivia?
No, that's the other one. Olivia Wilde? Yes.
Yes. Full suit, lit up, disc wars. I'm in it. I think that would be a cool costume.
That would be dope.
Right? Because it's got to be so customized. Have you seen them? They have them in the bags, and it's just not the same.
You get the stuff from the stupid Halloween stores, and they're like plastic. And it's just not the same.
And then you get to run into the girl, like the 4 girls that are wearing the exact same outfit as you. And you've accessorized it different, but you're all wearing the same thing.
You're like, Party City? Yeah. Party City. Remember the Halloween costume I had for us?
No, I forgot.
Kathy Lee and Hoda. From the Today Show. Because we do kind of look like them. And all we have to do is put on some dresses and put some wine in our hands and call it a night.
That would be actually pretty funny.
We have to do that sometime.
One day. I've always wanted to be a part of a couple or a group costume. And I've never done that.
You know what would be a really fun group costume would be the Mario Kart ones where you we have the balloons above you and everyone's a different character and you have your little car around you.
So elaborate. And you're bumping into people in the bar and they're annoyed with you.
You got like a shell and a banana.
Little banana peels tripping people in the bar. Sorry, it's my costume.
Sorry.
That's so funny. Okay, so I wrote a little bit of a guide on what we look for in an ideal dating profile. And I even asked you for your input.
Yes.
On what are the things that draw your attention when you are swiping through Bumble, yeah? So what I thought we'd try really quick is me and Michelle are going to get on our Bumbles right now, and we're going to do a live swipe, and we're going to tell you what we're thinking. We won't mention names. We won't do any of that stuff, but we're going to give you a little bit of our impressions as we go through our choices. So men, listen up to see what we're actually thinking as we're swiping through. How do you feel about men who do mirror selfies?
I'm not a fan.
Isn't that weird?
I don't.
Because we do them all the time. Women do.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when men do it, I'm not as responsive to it for whatever reason.
I think it's because they're like looking, I don't know. It's just, he seems intense with it. He's like looking directly into the lens instead of at himself.
He's got to get his jawline popping. He's a good looking dude.
And then he's also a doctor, so he has a
I'm looking at a doctor too right now.
What?
That's so weird.
Synchronicity. and then he's got a profile, so that's nice.
Nice.
He's showing different angles.
If you can give different angles of your face, that is a wonderful thing, because when we're looking at a dating profile, we're looking to create a full image. Mm-hmm. Do I have a good idea of what this person's actually going to look like in person? Because there is a change up. See, this guy, the problem with this, he has a picture with his dog, which I think is wonderful because, I love the puppies. And that's always a good thing to do. But the problem is, look, we're super pixelated on the first picture.
Yeah.
It's not going to draw the eye.
It's probably like he had a group picture and then he cropped everyone out and then it just got super pixelated.
Probably, maybe. But I'm like, you know what? If you're on a dating site and you want to make a good one, take a new picture even. If you got to take one specifically for it. I don't know, get crazy.
So I'm still on this first guy because I wanted to read what he had to say because I always like to read before I swipe left or right.
Sure.
Unless it's like an automatic, not attracted.
Right.
But this guy is an automatic no for me. Here's why. I'm vegan. I do CrossFit. And thinking about quitting CrossFit to focus on being vegan. Vegan disclaimer. Oh, I'm not vegan. Newish to San Diego. So this is all
what's happening?
Sarcastic.
Okay.
Which is weird because if I just glanced at it and I saw vegan CrossFit, I'd be like, nah, just because that's a lot to handle. No offense if you do CrossFit or are vegan.
If you do vegan.
I respect you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm already annoyed, so I'm going to swipe left.
Isn't that weird how like just a sentence somebody can annoy you? Or it also gives you a sense of their humor.
Right.
Right? And you're like, for some reason, this humor does not click with me.
Now we got like a surfer bro. He's on a bike with his shirt off at the water. And then we get a nice casual pic of him sitting. I like when you see the full body pictures. You don't have to have your shirt off. It's just nice to know the proportions of someone.
Correct. I feel like men think that they should have a shirt off picture.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys I talk to think that they're supposed to. You don't have to have that if you don't want to, but if you're comfortable with it, I mean, sure.
Right.
But we don't need that. We're just trying to get a general idea. It's not like you get to see ladies with their shirts off. That would be inappropriate.
Yeah. This guy, he's got a picture with a child, which always is kind of like, is that your kid? And that kind of makes me go,
Okay, so guys put in pictures, I feel like, with kids, like that are their, it's always their niece or nephew, for the most part, at least the ones that get sent to me, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have to put the disclaimer in there like, oh, that's my niece, that's my nephew, or whatever. And I wonder, do they think that it's more appealing if they put a kid in there because they look like kid-friendly, even if it's not theirs?
And a lot of women are super attracted to that kind of thing.
Yeah. So maybe they should just be aware of what type of woman they're looking for.
Right.
Right? Because some women will like that, and some women will be like, don't even make me question whether you have a child or not.
Yeah. And I feel like most people will be like, I have a kid, but always those few ones that don't say anything.
Yeah, there's some that are nervous. And I understand that, but also it's like you can't be nervous because you want that to be out in the open so that you're connecting with the right type of people. See, what this guy's doing wrong is the first two pictures he gives me are really, really far away. Mm-hmm. 2 distance pics. So the chance of me actually staying on this profile to look further slim down. Yeah. Because I'm less curious. It's like you got to get my attention pretty quick.
And this guy, he's got sunglasses on 4 out of the pictures. So it's like, what's wrong with your eyes?
The one you showed me the other day literally had all of the pictures with sunglasses on. Don't do that.
Also, these are very far away and you can't really see what he looks like. Even though in this one I can tell he's attractive, but
still, too many distance pics is a struggle. Because this is all about just upping the chance that somebody's interested enough to swipe right.
This one's good because it shows off his personality. Start with a face pic, and then you get like one at Disneyland, just another goofy one, and then one at the beach, and then one with a Santa nightie.
Little variety.
So he's kind of like fun, dresses up, has a nice smile.
And you want to pick smiles that are genuine smiles too, because I think people cue in on that. This guy is a touring musician. Him in a plane, him in a crowd. Look at that, just a crowd. That's just a big old crowd of people. Where is he at? Where are you?
Waldo?
Sir, where are you? Where's Waldo?
Also, like, don't put like all those group pic photos trying to figure out which one is the actual person. That's ridiculous. 1 group photo, 2 group photo. Okay.
Oh.
But make sure you know you're the one being highlighted.
Yeah, if you're going to put a group photo, we need to be able to tell which one is you automatically. And the problem is that you run into a lot of group photos where you have 5 guy friends that look very similar to you with sunglasses on. So I consider that it's just a waste of a picture.
Yeah.
It's almost like the mentality of guys is they want to show you like their activities and they want to show you that they're outdoors and like they're about showing you like their hobbies, right?
Yeah.
When sometimes I feel like from the women I've spoken to, we're looking for like face, the body, who you are, not the long distance picture of you snowboarding, you know?
And sometimes it is nice. It does show a little bit of their personality, but yeah, like you said, if
you just can't do it for every
it's
picture.
Just like for every picture, like you're in Hawaii on the side of a cliff, like everybody has that picture, or Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, dude. If you haven't been to Machu Picchu, are you even allowed on a dating app? I feel like we're about to get kicked out.
Or everyone's an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
or
everybody's a CEO and an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. What's the other big one? Banking, like
human resources managers, a lot of those. A lot of sales managers, a lot of... there are very consistent jobs. And I'm like, how are you
military men, especially in San Diego?
Diver, pilot.
Right.
I feel like military men always want to wait to unveil that as long as they can sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure some of them feel judged for it.
Right. Or, there's just a lot of women that don't want to deal with them being gone all the time, too.
It's a very specific life. Look at this. This is a cute picture. That's a cute picture. There is a puppy on his shoulder, and the puppy looks like it's smiling. That picture is a success. Now, this one is a good one. He's a dentist, but he's in a classroom.
We found a hot picture.
Is that fireman? What is that?
It looks like a Halloween costume.
Hottie hot picture.
But this man is
So
cut.
women are swayed by hottie hot pictures, is what you just learned. She had a very instinctual reaction to that one. She's like, right? I'm over here like, look at this man. He's in a classroom. There we go.
I was like, that's boring, Courtney. She's like, I'm attracted to education.
Look at this.
Look.
Okay, so obviously I'm very swayed with men with dogs.
Yes, obviously.
Because if any man tries to come into my house and does not try to love on my dog, we done. We done.
Duh. You're dumb if you could think
done.
that.
Yeah, some men don't get that.
Oh, also, if there's like nothing within their description, that's like an automatic no, right?
Yes, I very much agree with that. Only for the sake that you didn't put any effort into your profile and I only have pictures to go off of. And the main problem with that is that I feel that if they're just going off of physicality and they couldn't be bothered to write, especially on Bumble, we're talking, what? A couple short sentences.
Some bullet points.
It's a blurb. It's not even a real full bio that you have to write in. If they couldn't even do that, then I'm not really into it. And then I feel like they're more superficial, which means that if I went out with them, all they're going to care about is superficial stuff, which is not what I'm looking for.
Like they're coasting off of their looks instead of their personality.
And they'll only be interested in mine. Mm-hmm. They'll only go surface deep, which is not a good use of my time. I don't like that.
That or they're just super lazy, and that's
also not cute. It's also not cute. Wow, this guy is like all super close selfies. This is also too much.
That's also like disturbing.
Yeah, he's a little too intense.
There's always a lot of them have, it's hilarious. The guys have the best man pictures or like the wedding party pictures. A lot of best men pictures,
a lot of wedding pictures.
And it's always the cropped picture. It's great. But I'd do that too if I had good pictures from a wedding.
Mm-hmm. See, this guy's his description just says, laid back guy looking for a laid back girl, no drama, please. Those are immediate turnoffs to me because it feels like they're carrying a little bit of baggage somewhere. They have been with dramatic people, so they're going to be really sensitive to things.
They basically want someone that's not going to tell them what to do or react to anything negative in their life. And that's just not how life works.
There's a way to disagree without being dramatic.
Totally.
But that's what I feel. You lead with what you're looking for. You don't create a list of everything people shouldn't be to hang out with you because it projects ego
and negativity,
negativity, judgment. That's what people are whether that's you or not, they're going to instinctually feel that off of that kind of description. It's my subconscious feeling when I look at those. Do you pay any attention to the fact when people verify themselves in the corner?
I just realized what that was because I haven't been on this in a long time. So I was like, I'm not
what
verified.
Is that blue check?
And then I always think about doing it, and then I'm like, maybe later.
I've almost done it twice, and then I'm just like, I don't know why. I'm so incredibly real. You can I'm so easy to find online.
Yeah.
That I'm like, how much more proof do you need, people?
That's true.
I do like people adding their Instagrams.
Yeah, that's always nice. But I haven't added my Instagram because I'm private. So why would I do that? Because then that's just annoying.
This is a good
then
point.
They go to Instagram and they look for my name and they're like, oh, I can only see that tiny circle.
Exactly. Check it. I have a lot of guys that will talk to me. They skip the Bumble thing altogether. They hit my profile and they go directly to my DMs on Instagram because my Instagram is on there, right? That's fine. That doesn't upset me or anything. The problem is they might have a private Instagram, so I can't see anything. And then a lot of the times, their profile picture on their Instagram is not a picture of them. So I have zero representation of who you are. I can't see anything about you, and you're trying to start a conversation with me. I'm not going to do it because I don't know. I have no concept of who I'm talking to. And I don't know if they realize that. Like, why would I start a continuing conversation with somebody that I have no knowledge of in any way, shape, or form? A lot of times I don't even have their first name if their name doesn't even in their Instagram profile.
Yeah. Next.
I'm like, no,
Ignore.
sirs.
It's funny because being on this for maybe over a year, you run into the same people. I think it's annoying that once you swipe left, these people still come back.
They do.
Which
they
is
definitely show
weird.
you them again.
And it's like, well, maybe this time. You're like, no.
You know, when you swipe too long and then it has to like refresh?
Yeah, that's
And
sad.
it's like, hold up, let me look for more because we went through everybody.
We ran out already.
Now, I'll tell you this too. So I used to be on Match and my profile's still on Match, but I haven't been using it. I'm not subscribed or anything. I can't read any messages, but I logged into it for a second to check on the fact that they have events. I was trying to see what those events were. And then all of a sudden now I'm getting tons and tons of messages from there. So I'm looking at the profiles of the people and I was reading through some of them and I was like, wow, these people put so much more into them. Because they have more space to use, but they also like, hey, I'm just a nice guy. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. I don't know if the tone feels more genuine. You can tell that maybe the people on there are genuinely looking for a relationship. It's just an entirely different energy in the profiles on that site.
Right. I think I'm looking for more something like that. But the problem is there's not as good of a selection on Match as far as the attractive men. Sorry to say, but like it's true. And when you go from Bumble to try to do Match, like I think I might have tried a free trial and I was like, literally, I didn't find anyone attractive, which is really sad. But it's just
but
like
it plays a part.
It plays a big part, and I think it's like people our age really don't want to pay for a dating site. We already are poor. We live in San Diego.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to get by, so they're like, I'm not going to pay for a dating site.
That's a huge problem when you have so many options to be free. It's like, why would I do that?
So I mean, there's a few more that came out, like dating apps that are a little bit more in depth that I've tried. And I kind of like a little bit more, but the Bumble one is definitely the most entertaining for sure.
I think so. I've met the most people off of it.
Yeah, same.
Not exactly that these were all perfectly successful situations, but they weren't bad.
This guy is beautiful. First off, I'm very thrown off. He's looks like he's a professional baseball player. But he's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's good looking. This man has not come across my Bumble. I like how sometimes I'll find somebody and be like, you seen this one?
Yeah, we always see the same ones. All he put is his Instagram. And his Snap. He put his Snap. Not a lot of people put their Snapchat.
I have a lot of people that try to just contact me through Snapchat as well.
That's weird. You got some weirdos contacting.
Well, I get even less information about you on Snapchat. I might get the one picture, but a lot of the Snapchats is just Bitmojis.
Yeah.
So I might not know who you are at all. I'm just saying, men, think about that. You're messaging me. I cannot see you at all. I do not know what your name is. And you're trying to like ask me out to a place. Oh. It's not logical on my end. If I were to do that, I'm an unintelligent woman. It doesn't even make any sense, right? Why would I do that? No one should do that. It's not safe. It's not safe. I'm just saying, think about it. All right. Did we learn enough?
Yeah, I think we learned a little.
I think we learned a little bit about what it sounds like when women swipe on Bumble. It's a lot of that. So basically we're really trying to get an idea of who you are when we're looking through those pictures. So pay attention to them. Make yourself accessible. Next, I got a couple questions through my Instagram.
Okay.
From menfolk.
Menfolk.
They want to know the answers from ladies such as ourselves. First question was, do you always expect us to pay for dinner?
No, especially not on the first date. I think it's always really nice if someone offers, since they're the one who asked you out, and it's kind of like the old-fashioned thing to do. And I think that I always am more attracted to that type of person who feels like they can take the lead on that. But I also really appreciate if they're honest and upfront and be like, oh, so like we're going to split this. I went on a date once, and this guy had already taken care of the bill beforehand. Like, so he just like gave him this card and they already gave it back. And so he's like, just charge whatever to that. And so at the end of the night, he's like, oh, we're all taken care of. And I was like, what?
I've never experienced
That's
that,
fancy.
but I like that. Well, kind of like when I went to the restaurant, when I went to Juniper and Ivy. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Did I make that name up? Is that the name of the restaurant?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's going to be hilarious if I go back and listen to this. I'm like, it's totally not the name of that.
Oh, that sounds right to me.
Anyway, went to a nice restaurant, and then he told me to just pull up, and he'd already handled my valet. As soon as I drive up, they go, it's all taken care of. You can head on inside. And then I walk in, and the hostess already knew who I was to take me to the table. Is that expected? No. But if you do it, man, it's impressive. It definitely makes an impression for sure.
It's more of like a sweet thing that will make a woman more attracted to you. So it
I
shows
think so.
that as a man, you are going to be a provider and you will take care of your woman. Even though it's the new age and women can be equal and make as much money, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I still like that.
I still like it too. I think it's very attractive. I think it sets you apart. You're going to make whoever you're hanging out with feel very special. It's funny because I do fight against these, like I was raised to think if a man invites you out, he pays for your dinner. He pays for whatever you go out and do. That's kind of what I was raised with. So when a guy doesn't, it definitely triggers something in me where I go, oh, that's kind of weird. Or I think he's not that interested. Or I don't know. Those kinds of things kind of instinctually come up. And then I check myself and I'm like, should I be expecting it? Should I, you know what I mean? Like, is that wrong of me to expect that in this day and age? But I guess that's where we hit that like old fashioned brain pattern of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to, but it's real nice if you make that impression. So think about the impression that you want to have on the person that you're going out with. Next question. Do women find it more attractive when they think a guy has a lot of options?
In a way, you mean as far as like if the guy can get any girl he wants?
Right. He's clearly a hot commodity.
I mean, in a way it shows like he's got what women want. So there's an attraction there because everyone's going after this one person. But typically in those situations, the guy is just pretty on the outside and not on the inside. And if they have that type of ego where they're acting like they can get any girl they want, then that's gross to me. But
that's never attractive to me either.
If they're just an attractive guy that, lots of women find attractive, I don't mind that. Like, I guess I am more attracted to that. But
it's the rare hot man that doesn't fully know he's hot and he's maybe almost a little bit shy. Do you know what I mean? I like those ones. I like those ones. And I think they're very difficult to find because a lot of guys will project so much that they're aware of how attractive they are. And they're a little bit more alpha, I guess, in that sense, which is, I don't know, maybe men are built to be that way. You know what I mean? In the sense of just instinctually to project that. But I'm always very nervous about that type of guy.
I was just watching a video and they were saying how at a very young age, it's instilled into men to be the type of guy who can get a bunch of girls and they talk about, what they did together. And it becomes like you're the cool kid because you get all the girls and everyone wants to be like you. So that's very much like built into how they think of themselves and their egos and how they treat women. So now if you're the guy who has all the girls, you're the man, We're
raised to be like, oh, I'm pristine.
Yeah.
In some circles, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Christian, so I was raised obviously to that strict standard. And that's very difficult in the way you interact with men. And especially nowadays, it's like even way worse because they expect stuff within the third date. And one of my good...
Third date, Jesus. Men expect things on the first date.
Yeah. But one of my good friends, I was shocked. He was like, oh yeah, like if a woman doesn't have sex with me by the third date, I'm like done. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I've told you several guys that think that. They're like, well, she's obviously, it's never going to happen. And I'm like, why do you think it's never going to happen? What? There's no patience. There's no buildup. I have an appreciation for suspense. Yeah, too. You know what I mean? Like
there's a romance.
But you're creating a vibe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no appreciation for that anymore. And it's all very like instant gratification. And then I don't know where you're supposed to go from there when you go all the way to 100 with somebody you don't know.
Well, it's an interesting thing because when you have sex so fast and you don't know the person, you have this weird vulnerability because you did something that was so personal, but you don't know the person at all. So you just have this really weird dynamic now where a part of you feels like you're connected in a certain way. So you feel more like territorial with them because you've experienced that together, but really there's not that emotional connection yet.
Yeah.
So
I've heard a little bit of that as biological.
Yeah, it's a very difficult and an odd thing, especially for women. I don't think maybe men.
No, it's more for us, I'm sure. Yeah.
As much because in society we're told that now you're a slut, if that happens within the first few dates, which is like super common nowadays. So I don't know.
Yeah, very much so. It's very
a very
common.
Frustrating thing for women, at least.
Yeah, I don't judge it in any way, shape, or form. If that is what makes people happy, it's just I don't like that there's such a strong expectation for it.
Right.
That's the part that gets annoying.
I don't try to judge anyone and how they live like that.
But. No, 0%. I just don't like to come into something feeling like I have an expectation on me and I am no longer interesting if that is not what I want to do the first time we hang out.
Yeah, and then there's the men's egos are so tied to that. And it's like once you turn them down, they're like, oh.
They shut down.
Yep.
Fully. So are men more attractive when they seem like they have a lot of options? Short answer. They are attractive in the sense that it seems like there's good qualities about them that maybe we should be attracted to. Goes in the same line of men that are taken, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, when I have a girlfriend, all of a sudden all these women want me. Because it's almost like you're vouched for.
Yes.
Like some woman has snapped you up because you have enough good qualities. So it's like you got a little stamp of approval on you. So yeah, there's a certain element of that. But if you show off a whole lot of ego, it becomes not cute real quick. Next. Do I pursue a girl that's canceled on me twice?
The answer is no.
We're going to leave it at that. No, it's not a good idea.
Men, you need to set a standard for yourself, and women need to set a standard for themselves.
Yes.
And if we let people get away with just ignoring you and just being flaky, then that cycle will just continue within the relationship and they'll feel that they can get away with it.
Yeah. Because dang it, if it's not true, if I'm really interested, man, I'm answering pretty quick. You want to gauge the real level of interest that person has for you at the time. There's nothing wrong with having standards for that. It's just a good way to
weed people out.
Weed people out, exactly. Cool. We're good.
We're done.
Now we get to go watch scary movies because it's Halloween.
Ooh, okay.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
That's it for this one, you guys. Make sure to listen to the other podcasts I've done with Michelle if you enjoyed this one, and head over to CourtneyDiamond.com for a quick how-to I wrote on how to create an online dating profile that'll grab some good attention. Thanks for being here. And if you've enjoyed this time we've shared together, maybe leave a nice rating or comment if you have the chance. I very much appreciate you, and make sure to stay in touch with me on socials at Courtney Diamond. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.